It's the Sean Widmer Podcast. It's a journal by someone that just really doesn't like to write.
Oh, man. Okay, well, it's 5-2. It's 5-2. I shouldn't be recording the podcast right now. I needed to because I didn't do it Friday. I want to record it. So mad. I'm so mad. 5-2. I guess since I turned the game off, Vlad Guerrero hit a home run, I turned the game off. Today we're going to talk about being a parent. It's 5-2. It's 5-2. Mariners, Toronto, when I'm recording this, 5-2. I guess Josh Naylor hit a home run. I didn't see it. And then Eugenio Suarez singled. We got a run. The Mariners got a run off of a base hit. 5-2. Now I've turned the game off. I need to shut the score down. They've scored 2 runs with me not paying attention. I'm superstitious. All right. More on that in just a little bit. Hi. Thanks for tuning into the podcast. I appreciate it. The energy is going to be weird tonight. Let me just tell you, the energy is going to be weird because the Mariners. I love sports. I was kind of hoping tonight would be a big Mariners night. Tomorrow would be a big Seahawks night. But instead, Seattle, Pacific Northwest sports fans, it's all happening tomorrow. I think the game, I'm just acting like the Toronto Blue Jays have won. This podcast could be one we look back on and go, dummy you, but it's not. It's 5-2. It's 5-2. Moments ago it was 5-0. Tomorrow night's going to be an emotional one for me. I should just live stream it because it's going to be a mess. I think the Mariners game is at 7. Seahawks game, for me, for the East Coast. Mariners game at 7. Seahawks game, 10 o'clock. Are you kidding me? 10 o'clock? So I'm in for just a night of emotions because the Seahawks make me mad in general. I love them so much, and I get very into the Seahawks games. Obviously, a game against the Houston Texans is nothing close to a game to go to the World Series. It's not even in the same realm. The only similarity is they're both sports teams I like. That's it. But the Mariners game tonight's huge. If both teams, really, if the Mariners win, it doesn't matter. The Seahawks game will just be a fun thing to watch. If both teams lose, I don't know. If both teams lose, I don't know, something bad, something tragic will happen. If I'm watching on a TV, that TV will probably be discarded violently. If I'm watching on a laptop, that thing will be smashed. The chance of some shirt or jersey getting burned. It's just, tomorrow night could end up in chaos. Mariners, man, gotta win it. Golly gee, what a great start to the series, and then what a not good middle of the series. All right, well, bring on Game 7. 5-2 right now. What if they're winning? No, they're not. Okay, let's talk about my phone's dinging. Oh, I had my fantasy basketball draft tonight. That's what this is. I had my fantasy basketball draft tonight. Very fun. NBA starts this week. It starts on Tuesday night. I love it so much, and I'm so excited about fantasy basketball. I actually spent some time today making my draft list. I haven't ever done this where I took a bunch of draft lists, compiled them, spent like an hour and a half today while my phone is blowing up right now. My phone is blowing up. All right. I'm just going to close that. Okay. Spent some time taking some lists, mixing them up, and it was first time I've done this with a draft where I just shut off what was going on the actual online draft board. Shut it off. And I drafted based off of my list. So when someone was drafted, I would get the notification on the screen, and then I would just cross off on my list where they were. So instead of looking and being force-fed from Yahoo or ESPN or wherever you draft, instead of being force-fed their suggested, I had my list that I had kind of created. I've never done that, really, I don't think ever, where I actually had the list in front of me. I've had it where I've had ideas of guys I wanted in football or basketball. It was really fun. I had a ton of fun doing it. But while I'm doing this, The stinking Mariners are crapping their pants. Okay, let's talk about being a parent. I'm sold on something, and I think some of these I touched on over on Patreon. So if you are a Patreon subscriber, you get a video every day. And I was told this week, don't push it with the videos because maybe some are hot, some are real good. Some are real good. I think some are enjoyable. And then others, you can tell I hit record and then we didn't know where we were going. So, but they're there every day. And I think I talked about some of this stuff, but I'm a real firm believer that my kids really do make better rules than I do, than my wife and I do. They do. And you can argue and be like, no, the parent's the parent. And I hear a lot, you gotta be in control of your house. Yeah, but my rules suck. My rules suck. My daughter told me the other day, she was mad. I had to put her to bed, and she had to go to. She wanted to keep watching the Mariners with me, and she had to go to bed. I'm like, you got to go to bed, and she was like, when I'm an adult, I'm gonna stay up forever. And I was like, that freaking rules. Yeah, absolutely. If I was the boss, she'll hit us with that sometimes. If I was the boss, I would eat candy for dinner. That rule's so much better than our rule. Our rule sucks. Our rule is like, eat your vegetables and your meal, and then I have to eat the vegetables. As the parent, I've set up this stupid rule where it's like, my daughter just wants gummy bears and strawberries. Right? Strawberries, grapes, some gummy bears, and to stand up and dance during dinner. And our rules are like, sit on your bottom during dinner and eat your vegetables. Both of which suck. Our rules stink. Kids make way better rules. It's, we get in the bathtub and my daughter wants to take a bunch of soap and create a bubble bath that bubbles over into like the hallway. And we're like, no, you can't do that. No. And she's like, but if I made the rules, I would have bubbles everywhere. And I'm thinking, yeah, dude, that's way cooler. That's way cooler. So I'm realizing I would love to, for like a week or two, just go with my daughter's rules because they're awesome. They're rad. I don't know that I think I wouldn't go to work. That would be sick. She would go to school probably 2 hours late and just go for recess and lunch and then come back. They make better rules than we do. I'm just saying they do. Now I mentioned something there that has been a struggle for me at the house, and it's the world of dinners. I struggled with it tonight, Sunday night. I'm recording this late Sunday night. The Mariners are down 5-2. Maybe they're winning now. I'll never know. I shut the game off when Vlad Guerrero crushed a hanging curveball 1 million miles. Also, why is it that Logan Gilbert, God bless him, great season, love Logan Gilbert, but why is it every time he pitches, he reacts to his pitch like the person hit a home run, whether it's a strike or a home run? He does this arm flail thing that makes you think, oh, crap, someone just hit a bomb. Tonight, they did. So, anyways, tonight, Sunday night, recording this. It happened tonight. Dinner. I've mentioned this before on the podcast, but it's just getting worse. I can't get out of this funk of the same things. And I don't even want to say bless you to the families who go, we make it and we tell our kids to eat it. That's rad. So super cool. Super cool. We don't have that here. If I was to make pad thai tomorrow night and I set it down on everyone's plate and I said, if you don't eat it, this is what you get to eat tonight. This is what you get to eat. Couple things will happen here. Couple things. Number one, they won't eat it. Okay. And there's a life lesson there because then they'll realize the next night that when they're hungry, they need to eat their dinner. Or they're going to grind you down emotionally for the next couple hours after they get off the dinner table. They're going to grind you down by asking every 2 seconds for a snack or something to eat. And so, these parents are like, well, we tell them to eat, and then if they don't eat, they don't get any food. They don't follow up with the next 2.5, 3 hours. Okay. And I believe that the parents who are not following up are locking their kids in their room and leaving the house while their kids yell and scream for a snack, because we're just going to get worn down. Now I'm going to go through 1 million bananas, 1 million apples, string cheese, carrots. I'm going to go through so many of those over the course of the week because they didn't eat dinner and now they've just grinded me down emotionally, and I am forced to give them a snack before bed. And they win. And the other part is I'm going to eat their pad thai. So if you make them what you're eating and they don't eat it, not only are they going to get a snack, you are instinctually, you're not going to throw it away. And let's not be kidding. You're not going to take it off your kid's plate. They've picked at it a bunch and put it in a Tupperware, you filthy animal. You nasty animal. You're going to eat it. You're going to pick at it. Because it's good. You like it. And now you've eaten for 5. You've eaten dinner for 5. It's just you. You've had 2 helpings, and I've got my 3 kids. I've eaten all of theirs, and I lose. So I make them dinner. I ask them before dinner. My wife asks them, what do you guys want? And they say noodles, butter noodles with Parmesan cheese, fish sticks, chicken nuggets, mac and cheese. And that's what they say. And I make quesadillas, and they say no, and I eat extra quesadillas. And I make a frozen pizza, or we get pizza, something fun. They say no. I make hamburgers. Huck will eat one. Olivia won't. I'm eating a second hamburger. All these things. Chicken pot pie is the only thing the whole family will eat. Everyone eats chicken pot pie. So that's the one thing we'll get into. I'm struggling with it. Ian sent me a recipe for this garlic chicken, and it looks good to me. And I can tell you right now by looking at it, I'm going to eat, if I make it and I put it on everyone's plate, I'm having 3 or 4 helpings. Period. So at least it's chicken and it looked kind of healthy, but I don't know. How do you do it? What are people doing? And then I'm out of ideas. I'm thinking, how do I not have ideas? How do I not have ideas for this? My kids don't like hot dogs. I can't cut. Why is my computer blowing up now? I'm getting a lot of messages right now from just a lot. I don't know where that beeping is coming from. It's coming from somewhere. Somewhere there's a beep. Can you tell I'm edgy? I'm on edge. I'm going to look at the Mariners score. I'm on edge because the Mariners. You're witnessing how I watch sports right now. You're 6-2. Who hit a home run for them? Who hit a home run? Vlad Guerrero scored in a wild pitch. It looks like they had like 50 guys on base. Let's see how this works. Vlad Guerrero hit by pitch. Alejandro Kirk singles. Vlad Guerrero to second. And Vlad Guerrero scores on a wild pitch. From second? I don't know. Whatever. I'm a joke. 6-2. I need to be. You're watching. If you're watching the podcast, you're seeing a broken man. Can't get his kids to eat dinner. Is falling for the Instagram, Facebook, the parents you run into who are just bragging lies. Broken man from dinners. Broken man because my rules suck compared to my kids. I'm in control of my house, but I've taken control by doing the worst rules. Like, no, I'm in control of this house. You absolutely will not stay up for the Mariners game. You absolutely will eat your vegetables, and so will I. These are great. Oh, I can't wait to eat more of them. Why did I put so many on my plate? Oh, no. What did I do? Let's finish. I don't even have the button open for Kelly's What Are You Into? Kelly, thank you. Kelly's What Are You Into? You can send in your Kelly's What Are You Into? We're due for another Kelly's What Are You Into podcast. I'm due for like this uplifting podcast on Wednesday. That's full of joy. It's recorded after the Seahawks and the Mariners lose. Oh man. Let's stay negative. Let's get negatives out. I am horrible at my kids' school functions. Horrible. I don't know if it is a personality thing or if it is an age thing, but I am terrible. I had an outing with my daughter and her class I talked a little bit about. And on Friday, I had an outing with my son and his class to the pumpkin patch. Really great time with Huck. Had tons of fun hanging with my guy. And both times I went And all of the kids in all of the parents of the kids in my kids' class, they were all together mingling and, hanging out, and it sounded like maybe some gossip was happening, which I thought was kind of lame. But anyways, I just stood there, and I was just standing alone, and it was weird. And I thought, oh no, this is me. This is a me thing. I kind of got there, and it was a combination of things. My son's class, there's all these parents around, moms, dads, and they're hanging. Now, I will say I'm a little older, right? I'm a little older. I had kids older, so I'm a little older. But, a lot of these people in their 30s. I'm in my 40s. I got to look like the old man. And I just kind of realized I've made a lot of friends in my life. I don't really want to do it. And that's such a bad attitude to have. I think it is. And so I just stood there with my son. And weirdly, for my sons, at least my daughter had friends. I was forced into talking to parents, which was good for me. My son, I think he goes to school and does not talk to a single person. He just goes to school, and I don't know what he does. Plays with cars, plays with toys. Not a person. I was asking him, who's that? There are kids that are in his class. I know they're in his class. And I'm like, hey, who's that? I know the kid's name. I'm like, who's that? He's like, I have no clue, Dad. And this kid and 3 other boys are playing together. So there's 4 of them. I'm like, you know any of their names? Nope. Are they in your class? I think so. And that's my guy. And so my wife was laughing. Well, I think she was mad about it. I was laughing. We went to this pumpkin patch, and we were with his class, right? We're with his school, the elementary school or preschool, whatever it is, kindergarten and preschool and kindergarten. And we're with his class, his class and the other, whatever. We're with his school. And my wife goes, they posted a bunch of pictures. Huck's in none of them. I was like, they don't like him because they don't like him. He was there. I was there. He was there. We were both there. There should have been tons of pictures of us. We were there. We watched the pig races. We picked up a pumpkin. We touched the goats. Huck ran into a classmate when we were touching the goats. He almost got trampled because he wasn't paying attention to the students, his classmates, his peers, and a bunch of them moved, and he stood there and he almost got trampled. And he was so surprised that 13 kids were all moving to the more exciting thing that he had not seen yet. So we were there. We didn't get in any of the pictures. It was wild, but that's kind of where we're at. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how to approach it. I don't know how I want to. I've got one of my daughter's friends' dad is awesome. And that's like what I've got right now. He's cool. I could text him tomorrow and be like, hey dude, this is Sean, Olivia's dad. So what's going on? No, he's someone I could text and be like, hey, you want to watch the game tonight? And he would, if he was free, he would say yes. So I've got one. But I'm telling you what, outside of that, I stood in silence. Just stood there. At my son's, I just stood there. I made eye contact with a couple moms and dads. Made eye contact as if, maybe just like to make eye contact. So that you knew I was approachable. And they're like, no, dude. Was it bring your grandkid to the pumpkin patch day or something? No, that's my son. And they're like, oh, the other one who's not talking to anyone? That actually checks out. Thanks for listening to the podcast tonight. I very much appreciate it. Are the Mariners down 100 yet? Mariners are down 6-2. We're going to the top of the 8th. Cal Raleigh, can you hit a 4-run home run with nobody on?